what advice would you give to somebody who's watching this, who is burning the candle at both ends? They're getting up early, they're staying up late, they're doing everything to make their idea happen. What advice would you give maybe to a younger version of yourself? Or what advice would you now give to yourself as you were launching this product?
I wouldn't have had another choice. There's a period where there's no off switch. And this is the danger zone. I'm hitting 60. So we're going back, rewind, 30 years. Bloops. And it's easy to look back at these 30 years and say, well, 30 years later, this is where I'm at. But in actual fact, looking at those 30 years, and possibly if you're in your 30s, your 20s, late 20s, late 30s, and you're starting off on your own in this new business endeavor, I was completely out of balance. I was on the rivet. I was in a place of what I believe to be my zone. This was the place of indomitable spirit. I was rewired. I was more powerful than I could have ever dreamed. I knew everything clearer than clear. I was on the path, I had a mission, and there was nothing in the world that was going to stop me. What I didn't realize at the time was that I didn't have structure, balance, and I was slightly off target. It wasn't about making the money. It wasn't about turning people on. But from the years that started to evolve from that point, I made a lot of sacrifices that in retrospect, looking at the path, the way it unfolded over the 20 years, I would have made some adjustments. The first thing I would have done, I would have slowed down with myself. I would have been a bit more gentle on myself. I would have looked for a mentor or a coach. I didn't have a mentor at that time, and I didn't have a coach. I was the coach, I was the mentor. I had sanity. My wife was my sanity. She was my barometer. But being young and aggressive and on the push for success, I wasn't always conscious, and I wasn't always listening to my partner. My partner had the ability to look in. When she looked in, she could see the things that would not only promote my career, but the things that could actually hurt my career. I took that as fear. And the fear is a fine line. I felt that at the time, that balance was a weakness, that finding this little box was not going to work. And it took me years to realize that the endurance path, not too high, not too low, but this middle path of being patient would be far better serving as I got older. So patience became something that I realized looking back on that I didn't have. I was compulsive. I was on the rivet. I was on the rivet so hard that I would hear my friends in my head, my training partners, and I was not as conscious of my own family.